Your Dallas Mavericks make it 6 straight at home and 10 wins in the last 11. Luka Doncic put on a show. His 10th 40-point game of his career. He was the alpha dog late in this one, a season high in points with 41, matched a season high in rebounds with 14, and the three-point shot was back. 102-98, the final. This is Mavs Live, presented by Frontier Communications on Bally Sports Southwest. Wow, what a night. As we welcome you into the postgame show, we got plenty of postgame reaction coming up. Rick Renner alongside the stars of the show, Brian Damaris, and former NBA All-Star Devin Harris. Guys, we're just running out of adjectives to describe Luka. How about that fourth quarter? He was on fire.
He was on fire the fourth quarter. This is one of those games, and you saw it with Dirk. This is one of those, just get on my back, I'm carrying the team game. He was doing everything. 41 points to honor Dirk tonight.
But then the team recognized it too. But like I said, when you're a point guard and you it doesn't matter who's guarding you, and you can win that matchup time after time. It's literally like you come down like, okay, you go stand over here, you go stand over here. I'm about to go to work.
I got this.
Yeah. Devin, this was such an entertaining game. 22 lead changes, the Mavs in control late, and what Luka was able to do in the fourth quarter, scoring 11 clutch points down the stretch to win this game.
Yeah, he recognizes the situation, and the Mavs needed every bit of his offense in that fourth quarter. Like I said, a lot of guys struggling. KP sitting out a lot of that fourth quarter, but he recognizes the situation and understands that they need the scoring bit and. Big shots after big shots in the fourth quarter. And Toronto, like I said, is not going to really beat themselves. They put themselves in a good position, but just too much Luka.
Yeah, that last shot there was the dagger that blew the roof off the AAC.
Let's talk about that flurry at the end of this one where the Raptors had a chance. And we've talked so much about the Mavericks defense in the first 22 games of the year. They were 18th in defensive rating. And yet in the last 22, they've been number one because of occasions like this. Now, the Mavs are trying to close the deal. They get the turnover, and the Raptors get a chance. They're down by 4, but it's almost like the Mavs defense knew what to do to not give them an open look.
Yeah, the Mavs had a clunky offensive possession as the Raptors were trapping Luka, and then giving up the offensive board, which they had a problem with all night, but scrambling, getting the key rebound here.
I see this a little bit differently. They caught a break right here in these last couple possessions. You got Fred VanVleet going to his left, which is his preferable hand to shoot a wide open three, back rim. They get offensive rebound, kick it out, swing, and Boucher gets a wide open three. Now, if they make that, it's a entirely different game. But two wide open looks, late game, and kind of caught a break.
You think fatigue plays into this for Toronto because they only go 7 deep on their team?
It's yes. I mean, you could tell in that third quarter they were really struggling to score.
Happy holidays from the American Airlines Center at downtown Dallas. Interesting times with depleting lineups. The Mavs take on the defending NBA champions. This is Mavs Live on Bally Sports, presented by Jack Daniels. Jalen Brunson coming off of an absolutely monster game against Minnesota. 28 points, ready to rock for more. The Mavs need another big game from him tonight. Dorian Finney-Smith is another Mav that Dallas is leaning on tonight as the Mavs go for 2 in a row on Christmas Eve. And Chris Middleton and the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks are in the house on Bally Sports. And we welcome you into our pregame festivities starring the one and only Brian Damaris. I am your replacement anchor for Dana Larson. Rick Renner signed to a 10-day contract, which is the longest contract I've ever had in my career. Great to be with you, my man. It's an interesting game because so much anticipation when you take on the defending NBA champion, and yet we have so much star power out tonight.
But we have star power right here, you and me. I mean, listen, Funnel had Dirk last game. He's got Devin tonight, but your dreams have come true. You got me. It's a Christmas miracle. Let's do this.
It's a Christmas miracle and a Festivus for the rest of us. Well, COVID is definitely the big topic in the NBA. A fourth of the league has dealt with protocols, and the Mavs have their 7th player in 5 days that got knocked out. Let's take a look at who's in and who's out. Here's who's out. Ja'Cory McLaughlin added to the list that includes Luka, Trey Burke, Hardaway Jr., Kleba, Bullock, and Green. And we've had pretty much 2 a day until today, so maybe that's a positive sign. 2 assistant coaches are also on the list. Let's get reaction from Jason Kidd, who has his hands full, wondering who's available and who he's coaching tonight.
You gotta stay positive. Communication with the new guys, with the guys that are out. checking on to see how they're feeling. And so there's a lot going on besides X and O's right now. And then you have the holiday season when Santa's coming to town. So there's a lot going on.
It's not easy being in this situation. It's almost like you're coaching street ball. You know, you're out there and you don't know who you're coaching. You've had no practices. I can't even imagine it from his perspective.
Yeah, they're basically saying build them with confidence and go out and do what you do. High pick and roll, flow offense. If you have the shot, get it. There are 10 players out for the Mavs. Of the 13, 6 of them are replacement players.
Yeah, and something to note, Karl Anthony Towns, who they played Tuesday night, tested positive, and he is out. So we hope that there's no ramifications because the Mavs played him 2 days ago. Well, you talked about all the replacement players, and that's a great segue there because let's make it count with Jack Daniels. Theo Pinson and Marquise Chris had great games the other night. Interesting that Pinson was a start in North Carolina and played in 2 national championship games, and one of them, his Tar Heels lost to Jalen Brunson's Villanova back in 2016. What stood out to you about these guys, Pinson and Chris, that really grabbed the opportunity and ran with it?
Well, we talked about it off the top, playing with that energy and just really your mind is clear. You're just playing street ball. You're just reacting to what you're seeing on the court. Pinson talked about that. He was in the G League Showcase on Sunday. He's playing an NBA game on Tuesday. Remember, these guys are making $35,000 a year in the G League, and now they're coming and having a chance in the NBA. What does that mean? That means they're going to be on their A game. They're going to try to impress to stay on the roster. Mark Cuban just yesterday said, we're going to have some tough decisions going forward on who to keep and who not to keep.
Been really fun to see. You love that energy, and I love what Pinson said. I had no idea what they were running out there, but I just got into the flow and things worked out. Well, we talked about those replacement players. How about the new replacement players that the Mavericks have signed? It starts with George King, who's a 27-year-old journeyman who played in Italy, Poland, and Germany. He took San Antonio Brennan High School to the state tournament, and we could have a Charlie Brown Christmas. Check it out.
Oh, wow. I see what you did there.
Yeah.
And our third Brown of the season for the Mavericks. So what Brown can do for you. We really want Brown to do a lot for us because we have 3 of them.
Carlik Jones' birthday today. He's 24. Happy birthday. You are a Dallas Maverick, and you're going to be playing in an NBA game against the defending NBA champs. Well, we had a lot of enthusiasm because we saw Kristaps Porzingis out on the court working out before the game. It's been day-to-day with that toe. He will not play, but you get the sense he's getting very close.
Yeah, if it's a game-time decision now in his early warm-ups, he was looking really good, but he just doesn't feel like he's ready to go. This does bode well for Christmas night.
And it's exciting to see him moving around very well. And I know that Devin Harris said the other night, when you had that toe injury, that's something that can linger on. The Mavericks have done a really nice job of just kind of weathering this thing and being very cautious to make sure he's okay.
Yeah, that's the whole thing with him, is health, and you don't want to risk anything further in the injury. It sounds like it's a pain management issue rather than something that could get worse. So if he's a game-time decision tonight, I look forward to him playing Saturday.
Let's go inside the numbers now, presented to you by Jack Daniels. And we talked about those replacement players and what they add. How about Jalen Brunson and Dorian Finney-Smith? They are out there carrying the load. Each played 40 minutes on Tuesday. Brunson had 28, Finney-Smith with 19. For the team to be successful until the cavalry arrives, do they need to shoulder things going forward?
They absolutely do. They're the veterans on this squad, and their 2-man game is really what carried them to that win against Minnesota.
Yeah, and you think about Jalen Brunson, in the last 10 games, he's shooting 50%. He is elevating his game at the most important time when the Mavs need it.
He's in the top 5% in the league and finishing at the rim. I mean, it's just amazing what he's able to do. 75% shooting when he's getting to the rim. So that is really the key to the whole offense. That opens everything up.
Let's take a timeout here. We're just getting the party started here on Mavs Live, presented by Jack Daniels. Coming up next, the Bucks are without the Greek Freak tonight, but still pack a powerful 1-2 punch with Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. We discuss the Milwaukee Bucks after this short timeout. And we welcome you back to the American Airlines Center. Rick Renner, Brian Damaris, and let's bring in the third member of our broadcast team, Mr. Versatility. He does it all. The great Devin Harris joins us now. And Devin, you did such a fantastic job on this game. I know you're available for weddings and bar mitzvahs and all that kind of stuff. Very impressive effort by you in this one. How much did you practice in the mirror with all these replacement players, and what did you think about the effort from those guys tonight?
Oddly enough, I did do a wedding a couple a couple months ago. So, yeah, I'm very versatile.
Devin, wanted to ask you, I know that Mark Followell brought up the glory days when you won Mr. Basketball in high school in the state of Wisconsin. Did you beat out Caron Butler and Tony Romo for that? I'm trying to think back.
No, they're much older than me.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So you wouldn't have beaten them, is what you're saying?
I would have, but, they're a lot older.
Great stuff, Devin. Appreciate you doing this for us.
Great job, buddy.
Absolutely.
Enjoyed you in the big boy seat tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice being down here, but I'm also looking forward to going back up there. That's my comfort zone.
We'll look forward to having you back on Mavs Live. Merry Christmas to you, buddy.
All right,
Appreciate
Merry Christmas to you guys as well.
Yeah, and it's funny. You see his versatility being shown, and then you see the versatility of the Milwaukee Bucks and their big three tonight without Giannis Antetokounmpo. They were able to get it done. I mean, Chris Middleton, a fantastic game, but I tell you, the game really changed on a dime in the third quarter when Drew Holiday went crazy in the third.
Yeah, Coach Bud probably went off at halftime because he came out really aggressively there in the third. 13 points in that quarter, and they had 20 points in the paint overall in the third, and that really changed the game.
Yeah, and it is interesting that Boogie Cousins has bounced around from team to team to team. I mean, he's pretty much played for every team in this league. It's quite remarkable what he's been able to do, and the fact that he's still able to do it on such a high level and give you that kind of offense tonight with 22 points. Let's take a look at how the replacement players did tonight, and it is pretty incredible the kind of play that they've given the Mavericks. They've had no practice, really don't know any of the plays, but you can see what Marquise Chris was able to do. He led the way in the first half for the Dallas Mavericks. Impressive how these guys have jumped in and provided a lot of energy. Now, there's been some fouls with these guys. They got into foul trouble. You'd think about Pinson and Marquise Chris, but they were able to kind of weather through that stuff and give this team a lot of offense when they needed it.
Yeah, again, more energy, especially in the first half. You saw that lifting the spirits of everybody. I talked to Devin about how you really play. It's a very basic system. It's basic plays that you learn in high school, spread, pick, and roll. But you saw the fouls are when you're just a step late on knowing what to do defensively, because that's where communication and playing with those players over and over again in scrimmages and in games is a big part of it. And when you don't have that, then you reach and you commit a foul, and that's what happened in this one. But really strong effort from those guys, especially from Chris right there. Chris looks like a guy who wants to be in the NBA, and I'd be surprised if he didn't land a spot with the Mavs going forward after his 10-day runs out.
Yeah, and we forget that he was a lottery pick. He was a first-round draft pick. Golden State took a long, extended look at him. Injuries got in play there. But, boy, he's definitely taken advantage of his opportunity here with the Dallas Mavericks on a 10-day contract. Let's get some post-game reaction from Chris a couple days from Christmas.
Okay, so questions.
What's the whirlwind of the past week been like for you?
I mean, I've been in so many new situations in such a short amount of time. I'm kind of just used to it.
We talk about the trade deadline. We talk about what you can do in free agency. This is a key time. We've never seen this with 52 players right now, influx, looking at things, and I think you're going to see some of these guys stick.
Yeah, very impressive that he kept his body in shape and he was ready to go despite all that travel that he talked about and getting here and getting himself mentally prepared, because the mental side of it is as tough as the physical side. Let's take a timeout on Mavs Live, presented by Frontier Communications. Up next, we'll hear from Jason Kidd, plus we'll talk about French Frank if you keep it right here.